Las Vegas Coin Company buys and sells coins, jewelry, and collectibles, but that's not all. Today we will focus on an action-packed area of collectibles beloved by all fangirls and fanboys, comic books. Joining us now is collectibles buyer Scott DeLorge. Hi, Scott.
Hello, Jessica. Good to see you again.
Good to see you. I am so excited. I'm like bursting with energy of getting into this because I love comics.
Right.
So this is really exciting. So what kind of comics are you guys buying?
Well, we tried not to take in any. So there is a variety showing here, from ungraded to graded professionally. We have vintage, we have modern. We do try to look at a little bit of everything. Like the coin department, it is a bit of our specialty. So we take in about everything and help people identify what the values are and then what we can pay and offer for them. The typical only thing that we wouldn't be able to take in is really, really modern ones that might have sat out and gotten damaged, wet, torn, beat up. But vintage can even be in that condition. But that's about the only thing we might not take, is anything that's in poor condition.
Yeah, absolutely. Now you mentioned graded, ungraded. Yes. Talk to me a little bit about that process.
Sure. So we have some comics here that are ungraded on display, and we have such items as Venom and a few other vintage ones, and then we have when it comes up and gets graded. So when it gets graded, it goes to another company, not us in town, but it gets graded by them and assigned what condition it's in. Is it mint? Is it near mint? Is it in the middle? And it gets a number grade all the way up to 10. So now what happens is when you take it in to sell it to us, or you go to resell it as an investment, there's no hearsay of I think it's this condition, I think it's good, it's bad, it's this. Now you know that number. So when they professionally grade it, they're world renowned, CGC, and there's about 3 other companies that do it. Now it's not a matter of my opinion and I think it's worth this. You can go and research these comics by the exact grade that they're given.
Yeah, and you kind of, you're educating your customers as well too,
Sure.
right, on the process, because I'm sure, you know, they're like, but this is worth, you know,
Absolutely.
however much, right? Because it's their
Absolutely.
prized possession. So this kind of alleviates that.
It does, and it's understandable. We get these pieces that were inherited or you've had them as a kid, and then you go online and you see all these astronomical numbers. Sometimes it's wishful thinking, the numbers that are out there, or sometimes it's an accurate indication of value, but at a high grade, and then they bring in the comic to us and it's not quite that grade. We help them understand where the grade may be and then help them get to the grading company if that need be.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you're buying both.
Absolutely. It's not something everybody typically has around, graded comic books. So
Right.
There are some very avid collectors and people that inherit them again or get them graded, and we certainly buy those. It's the easiest process for us to comp it and say this is what it's worth. But most people are not going to have that, and they're certainly welcome to bring those in too. They might have come across them in a storage unit, in a estate sale, inherited them again, and then we'll go through them and help them understand the values, and we'll buy them raw or ungraded,
right.
and then we may elect to grade them ourselves or just sell them as is.
Okay, well, Scott, you brought some fun stuff, not just comics, as I see in this area here. So talk to me a little bit about what you brought in today.
Well, sure. So one of the older pieces I did want to focus on, we do have an original Batman piece. This is from the 1940s. So here's another example about when I say condition is usually something we're looking for strength. We can see there's actually a piece missing. We've got a little bit of a cover missing, and there's still a tremendous value to something like this because it's over 80 years old.
Yeah.
So these old vintage ones are not only iconic, but don't worry if there's a little bit of damage to them, we can even take that in. But as you mentioned, another fun side is Stan Lee, the godfather of comic books, and all these created these characters. We've got some fun little collectibles there. We got a little montage of the Avengers signed by him, certified by Excelsior and JSA, and then a neat little prop arc reactor that would have been on Tony Stark Iron Man, and he's signed on the bottom with a little photo of him signing it. So we move into all genres of the collectibles. We go comics into the collectible end of autographs. Any of this type of stuff you might have, we'll be glad to look at, help you evaluate, and make cash offers for them too.
Absolutely. Well, Scott, it's always a pleasure having you in, and even when you're bringing these really, really fun comics. I love it. Buy or sell your comic books. Visit our friends at the address on your screen, their website, LasVegasCoinCompany.com.